Welcome everyone to my video. I'm Mike, and I will be talking about the mousepad that you see on the right side of the screen right now. This is the Lethal Gaming Gear Saturn Pro Blue. So it's the new edition of the Saturn Pro, and it's in blue. I've gotten the 49 by 42 centimeter one because that is the size that fits my desk the best. But there is also a 50 by 50 variant if you want that. A square, as it's called. But I will preface by saying that today's review will not be a comparison to other pads. I'm not going to be comparing to Artisan and X-raypad and Infinity Mice or whatever else I could come up with. Pads that are of similar quality to the Saturn Pro, because I haven't tried them. I want to preface that and be fully honest, I haven't tried them. The only pad that I can truly compare it to, two pads, is the Aqua Control Plus, which I won't be comparing it to, and the original Saturn, which I have been maining for a little bit over a year, which I will be comparing it to. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So, out of the box, this is every single Lethal Gaming Gear mousepad that I've tried. Out of the box, it starts off a little bit textured, borderline abrasive. That happened with the original Lethal Gaming Gear Saturn as well. It always comes out slightly textured, and for some people, it's a little bit uncomfortable to use the first week or so. However, after that, it becomes pretty smooth, and it becomes nice to use. I don't know if it's because my skin develops some sort of immunity to the abrasiveness, or if I just get used to it over time. I don't know exactly what's causing it. But all I know is that out of the box, it can feel a bit textured at first. However, after using it, after breaking down the pad, it feels smooth. And I will say this pad feels smoother than the original Saturn. I think the reason behind that is that I've gotten the soft variant, which is slightly softer than the original Saturn. It's slightly softer. I can't speak on the mid variant because I haven't tried it. I have only tried the soft variant. And it's nice. It's plush. It's not super plush, though. It's not as plush as the Venus Pro that I had at one point. Back when you couldn't pick the hardness of your mousepad. It was just it was basically an extra soft mousepad, and I genuinely didn't like it. But this pad, I absolutely love. As for the base is not as good as the Venus Pro that I tried back in the days. I feel like the Venus Pro stuck to my table really, really well. This one doesn't, and I know that depends on table. I have a wooden desk that is not the most even thing in the world. And that means that the properties are just not applying as well as a flat desk made out of plastic, for example, or made out of metal. Something that is a little bit more even. So that is something to keep an eye out if you're getting this mousepad. If you're really, really sensitive to the mousepad moving around, you might have to be a little bit careful with this. However, there is one thing that you can do that will solve the issue pretty much every single time. And that is to apply a little bit of water below it. That will make it stick. And it's not like the base is terrible or anything. Like, it sticks really well during gameplay, but I noticed that I can move the mousepad around really, really easily. And I have noticed my mousepad moving around every now and then. So that is a thing to keep an eye out for. Now, here comes the thing that I think most people are interested in. And that is comparing the speed, comparing the properties of the mousepad to the original Saturn. How does it compare? Can you go from a Saturn? Can you go from a Saturn to a Saturn Pro pretty seamlessly, or do you have to get accustomed to it? The answer is, of course, you have to accustom to it, because one, it's a fresh new mousepad, so of course it's going to feel faster than whatever you're already using. And secondly, they have different hardness, they have different properties, a different base, different firmness. So yes, it's going to be feeling different. But the difference is pretty minute. Pretty minute. Also, when it comes to the quality. The biggest difference between the two when it comes to quality is that one of them is packaged better, one of them has a better stitching, and one of them feels a little bit nicer to the skin than the other one, while one of them is cheaper than the other. That is pretty much the simple gist of it. And I fell in love with the original Saturn when I got that, because it's a control pad that gives me freedom to move the mouse around. It doesn't feel muddy to move around, but it still feels like I am control. I am in control. That's something that I can't say for a Zowie GSR, for example. Zowie GSR is a pad where the first month, 2 months where you use it, it feels really good to use. It feels nice. But then it becomes a mud pad, and it just remains a mud pad. And that's the same with all the original coated mouse pads that everyone uses. Logitech G640, HyperX Fury, bunch of different mouse pads that I used back in the days that I wouldn't even dream to go back to them. For me, the Saturn Pro is my endgame mouse pad. And like I said, I'm not going to say how does this compare to an Artisan Zero or another Artisan pad, because I have never tried Artisan pads, and I am more than likely never going to try Artisan pads because I don't feel like I have the need to. I think this mouse pad is so good on its own that I don't need an Artisan Zero. Why swap to a pad that probably won't work for me when I have a pad that works with me right here? I don't know, at some point I'll find something else. You never know. But anyways, this has been my little video. I hope it makes you a little bit smarter on the Saturn versus Saturn Pro thing, because there's not really anything on YouTube that talks about that. So I thought I would do this. I know it's not the most high quality video. You're just watching gameplay and I'm just talking. I'm not showcasing anything. But it should still give you sort of an idea as to how they compare. If you ask me, would I get the Saturn or would I get the Saturn Pro? I would say whatever your budget allows. I think if you want the highest quality, you should definitely get the Saturn Pro. However, if you think the stitched edges being a little bit raised on the pad, if you don't mind that, then you can definitely go for the original. I don't think you would mind the original. Keep in mind, I've been using the original for a year, right? And I have used pads in the past that have had a lot worse stitched edges. Aqua Control Plus, the original Aqua Control Plus from X-raypad, which is a pad that I still adore to this day, but is a pad that I can't really go back to because it feels really abrasive compared to the Saturn. The Saturn just feels too smooth compared to the Aqua Control Plus. It's just way too abrasive. I can't go back to it. It's kind of sad. Kind of been spoiled by this awesome pad, by these awesome pads. But yeah, that's it for the video. I hope everyone enjoyed, and I will see everyone in the next one. Take care, everyone, and bye-bye.